More indications are coming out that a Mitchell Robinson trade is likely incoming and that the Washington Wizards are one of the teams who the New York Knicks have been in active trade talks with surrounding Robinson, and we have to talk about this. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video as we always do, because according to Ian Begley, who did a breakdown on the Knicks center situation, Mitchell Robinson is still actively being shopped, and the Knicks have had trade talks with the Washington Wizards. Now, Begley said the Knicks and Wizards have had a recent dialogue around a potential trade involving Mitch, and that New York is hopeful to re-sign Isaiah Hartenstein to a long-term deal as their starting center. Now, going into this season, we kind of just saw Mitch as the starting center with Hartenstein as an awesome backup to him. Then Mitch goes down, gets that surgery, misses a ton of time, comes back, he's not fully himself, doesn't have the stamina and the health to be playing starting minutes, so Hartenstein took over, and then there kind of became the question of, is Hartenstein going to stick around in New York? Will the Knicks be able to afford him since they only have the early bird rights on him, meaning they cannot just go fully over the salary cap for him? They could at most give $72.5 million over 4 years to Hartenstein, while the Knicks with Mitch is probably a little bit cheaper, but he's injury prone, even though I've said to this day, Mitch is still better than Hartenstein. Hartenstein might be better for the Knicks because he creates more spacing for Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson to get inside the paint. And obviously, Mitchell Robinson just not on the court very often, which is worrisome. But it does appear as if the Knicks have decided that Hartenstein, despite the fact that he maybe is not the defender Mitch is, will be the Knicks starting center long-term if they can convince him to stay with the team. And if that happens, there's a good chance they move Mitchell Robinson. And that would suck to see, because Mitch is the longest tenured Knick. He's awesome. He's funny. He's a great player. He is one of the few guys in the NBA who actually can give Joel Embiid a whole lot of trouble and has done it multiple times. He was imperative in the Knicks winning that series against the 76ers. Had Mitch been healthy, they probably would have been way better off against the Pacers than what they were, because there was a lack of low post defense, especially when Hartenstein was off the court. But either way, it's not the same when the Knicks don't have Mitch. They're always much better when he's on the court compared to when he's not. But they might be losing him. And it's not like he's irreplaceable. It would just suck. You're losing a guy who averages 5 points per game, 8 rebounds, gets a steal, gets a block per game. He would have more blocks, but people know not to challenge Mitch at the rim because how good he is. His shooting percentage has gone down. Remember a couple of years back when Mitch was young in the league and had the highest field goal percentage in NBA history one season? Now he's only down to 57.5%. So maybe the stats obviously are not great. You could replace him, but it's hard. Mitch is way better than what his stats indicate. That is something that we have to be aware of when thinking about this situation. And Ian Begley mentions that if they make a trade on draft night, they either fully believe that Hartenstein is going to re-sign with the Knicks, or that they could pivot in a different direction to another center who could either back up Hartenstein or fully take over for the starting job. Maybe the Knicks decide, hey, we know someone who's available, like an NBA star-level player, who's going to be our center or something. Now, I don't know who the hell that would be. It's not Embiid. It's probably not Giannis, who's more of a power forward, but I could see as his career goes on, maybe him pivoting to becoming a center. He is a great off-ball defender in the low post. That's why he won Defensive Player of the Year. So he obviously could do it at center. He's 7 feet tall, super athlete. It would make for an interesting lineup. But I don't think they're going to go out there and trade for Giannis, dude. So they're now in a scenario where they're not going to be trading Mitch unless Hartenstein comes back. And even if he does, that doesn't guarantee they are going to trade Mitch. What we're seeing right now is the Knicks focus in on trying to bring back Hartenstein, which they could do. With the new rules, they could re-sign Hartenstein today, even though free agency has not begun, because now that the season is over, teams can now talk to their own players. For instance, Klay Thompson, he can talk to the Golden State Warriors and try to re-sign with them if he wants to. We saw Malik Monk sign a new deal with the Sacramento Kings, a team that was very much fearing that they would lose Malik Monk. Now, obviously, he's sticking around, which is good for them. We're seeing teams continually get more and more chances to keep their players because it helps small markets, and the NBA wants there to be a balance of power in the league, unlike baseball. Now, I don't mind about the balance of power in baseball, but With the NBA, it makes sense, and that does incentivize or it does help the Knicks because they could talk to Isaiah Hartenstein literally right now as I'm recording this video if they feel like it, and maybe they will. We don't know if Hartenstein has talked to the Knicks. Nothing has come out if he's gotten in to trade talks with the Knicks or contract talks, because we do know the Knicks are in trade talks about Mitch, meaning there is definitely a confidence for the Knicks that they are going to be able to bring Hartenstein back to the team. Now, there's also more news to look at outside of that, which is this. Magic big man Goga Batad is among centers that's been on the Knicks' radar if they need to pivot. They probably have a few other centers in mind also, but we know that Batad is one of them. I would not mind the Knicks going for Goga Batad. The guy came in as like this stretch big and now does not hit shots anymore, can't shoot a free throw anymore for the life of him, but has become this phenomenal low block defender. He literally went from an offensively based center to a great defender who forgot how to play offense. I literally don't know how that's possible, but that's what happened, and he would fit. He'd be a decent replacement for Mitchell Robinson. He's a big body also. So Hartenstein, the big thing about him is he's not that big. He's not the strongest center in the world. He makes up for it with the effort he gives. He's a great high post playmaker, got a nice touch around the rim, awesome offensive rebounder. But at the same time, it's like he can't really guard a strong physical center that well. If the Knicks do decide to move on from Mitchell Robinson and say they trade him to the Wizards, who they've been in talks with, they're not getting that second overall pick, though. That'd be awesome. Because imagine Sarr on the Knicks. That'd be cool. But oh well. I'd rather, be a playoff team, which we are. I'm sick of watching the Knicks draft people in the goddamn lottery because it's just, I've seen it most of my life. Now, where the Knicks stand, they're probably looking to save some money by trading Mitch. It's mainly a money thing more than anything else. It's not like they're sick of Mitchell Robinson and his injuries. It's not that. They have depth. They have Jericho Sims. As of right now, they have Precious Achiuwa. I still have not gotten the video out on Precious that I want to make, but at some point I will. And in the process, what we are going to see is the Knicks look to save money by bringing Hartenstein back because they're going to have to pay Brunson, Randall, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, all in the near future. They're going to need to cut money somewhere, and I think they're looking at Mitchell Robinson as the odd man out because the amount of time he misses with injuries anyway. They're like, you know what? We could find other guys who maybe won't be as good of a defender, but will be on the court and will be cheaper. And we need to start saving money. The Knicks obviously want to make a move for a star player. Mitch does come in pretty helpful there because he does have a very tradable contract. It's descending. There's around $28 million left on Mitchell Robinson's contract right now. He's going to get around 14.5 this year and then like low 13s, I think, next season when it comes to money. That's worth a gamble on a team if they're like, let's take a risk. Maybe Mitch gets healthy. Maybe it works out. Maybe everything goes well for us. So they could obviously try to do that. I understand why the Knicks would want to use Mitch as a tradable contract, and I'm really interested to see where this goes. Probably there will not be a trade on draft night for the Knicks involving Mitch unless they trade for a star player. We're yet to see Bojan Bogdanovic's team option get exercised by the Knicks, meaning they probably don't have a trade exactly in mind as of right now, or they just don't want to show their hand by accepting Bojan's team option. They might do it directly before they trade him, or you could just trade Bojan now because maybe a team wants to acquire Bogdanovic and then decides, all right, we're just going to take him, and then we're going to decline his deal, get $20 million, and not have Bojan. So that doesn't make sense. He's a good role player. No matter where he goes, he'll be a good role player, and if he gets traded to a team that's going to be bad anyway, you net 2 seconds for him at the deadline after he puts up 15 on good shooting. So I think that would make sense. However, we are yet to see yet. The draft is obviously in 3 days, and subscribe to Knicks Digest because we are going to cover the draft on a live stream. It's going to be a blast. You guys don't want to miss it or any of the fire content we got coming out for you guys this summer. It's going to be a wild summer with the Knicks. A big trade is likely. A Mitchell Robinson trade seems very likely, and we'll be the first to break that story, so you guys don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Tune into the rest of them. Turn on post notifications and likes and all that stuff. Have a great day. Go Knicks!